we welcome anytime serious talks with China. Absolutely. The door is open. And the president has said many times he has a good relationship with President Xi. I have a good relationship with Vice Premier Liu He and his team. Our team leader on this, Secretary of Treasury Mnuchin, is in touch and communicating. Say yes.
Larry, the president tweeted this morning, and I wish I'd brought up the actual text of it, but he tweeted something along the lines of how the tariffs haven't really shown up in prices, at least not on grand scale yet. And while you can see it in certain areas, maybe in steel prices and lumber prices in different areas, that's true on a grand scale. But tariffs are taxes, and the more that you ramp up, the more you would expect to see some sort of ripple through our economy. Is there a point that you're worried? If we're looking at $250 billion in total of tariffs, does that get to the point where you start to think these are taxes on American consumers that will disrupt what you have been trying to build?
Well, we're looking at it carefully. We're following it very carefully. I don't think we're near that point right now. I mean, I think the singular story here is an economic boom that most folks thought was impossible. That's really the big story. With respect to the impact of tariffs, we'll see. I mean, we're following it. I don't see any problem right now at all.
Also, there have been questions about certain companies. We had an analyst we spoke with today who says he watches Apple shares as his proxy for how concerning these talks are, that Apple would be one who would be potentially hit pretty hard. I just wonder, is there anything you watch as a proxy? Is it the Dow Jones Industrial Average? Is it the dollar? Is there anything you're watching to say, okay, it's all clear, we can continue?
Well, we try to watch everything. On Apple, by the way, we've spoken to Mr. Tim Cook many times. Very smart guy. He's given us some good advice. Sure, I mean, we're watching currency markets. We're watching stock markets. We're watching as much as we can possibly watch. I mean, I think right now, one issue is the Chinese stock market has had a very rough time of it this year. And I think their economy is softening quite a bit. Now, whether you can relate that to the tariff story or not, I would just say my own personal view, something called state-run capitalism doesn't work. It never has. It never will. I don't think the Chinese gang particularly agrees with that, but we will see. But look, we try to keep an eye on everything. Our data, their data, European data, everybody's data. We have a terrific Council of Economic Advisors. Treasury is hard at it. We know that it's not easy to make reforms. Okay, but the president believes that's the right path. I happen to agree. He believes he has a mandate to do that. And it's not monolithic. I mean, we just signed, Congress just passed this 1,700 tariffs were reduced. We're willing to do that. So it's always aimed. But again, in order to level the playing field, get some reciprocity, and get to what we euphemistically call the 3 zeros on tariffs and non-tariff barriers and subsidies, you're going to have to take tough steps. Maybe it's a wake-up call.
What advice did Tim Cook give you?
Pardon?
What advice did Tim Cook give you?
Actually, only thing I'll say on that with Mr. Cook, all conversations are private, but he really loved our tax reform. Really loved our tax reform. He said it to me in my office up on the second floor, and I went down with the meeting in the Oval Office. He said it to the president. The president liked that.